So let's talk about this here, fellas. Let's talk about the Kentucky Wildcats. They are firmly, squarely on the bubble. But tonight they got their second quadrant one win of the season. They go to Mississippi State, who's been tough. Chris Jansen's done a nice job in year one. And Big Blue Nation wins 71-68 behind Oscar Tshiebwe's 18-11. All right. I'm just going to ask you point blank. One, what'd you think about this game? Two, you still think Kentucky's going to make the NCAA tournament or not?
I do.
You want to take it first, Mack?
I said that last week.
Why?
I feel like they're playing better. I know they, lost the other night, but to me, they're playing better than they were a month ago. And to Val's point before, want to continue to play your better basketball as the season goes on. And tonight's game for them, that's a hard game. Mississippi State is one of the best defensive teams in the SEC. They're at their place. It's going to be raucous. Kentucky's Achilles heel, according to so many people, is they can't score at times. C.J. Frederick's not playing, so now your shooting ability as a team, being able to space the floor around Oscar, isn't helped. And I thought they went in there and punked them. I thought they absolutely bullied Mississippi State around the basket on both ends of the floor. I thought that that's not easy to do. It's not easy to do and respond like that when everybody in the world continues to talk about you being on the bubble, not going to make the tournament. Players hear that noise, coaches hear that noise. To go in that environment and play the way they did, again, without a floor spacer for them, that was a big-time win for them, quad one win on the road.
Yeah, I agree with Chris in terms of their response. You start, like I said, February, you kind of know who you are. You're looking at, as much as anything, John, like, how do you respond? You're going to probably drop a game. Somebody may probably going to have an injury or a guy out. And how does everybody respond? For them, they dropped 2 in a row, right? Arkansas, Georgia, going to Mississippi State, one of the toughest teams. They're known, to Chris's point, for punking people. That's how Jan's coaches. They're going to be physical, in your face. And they had 10 offensive rebounds in the second half. Yep. Kentucky did. I thought Chris Livingston in the second half was big time. I mean, big time. They, Mississippi State, I think, cut it to 3. And they go under a dribble handoff, and he just stops behind and knocks it in. And what I love, Chris, and I don't know, like when February, it's like find a way February. Just find a way to win.
And I think it was Chris Livingston, if I'm not mistaken, that scrambled down the offensive rebound towards the end of the game where they had to foul him. And again,
and then he got fouled and made the 2 free throws.
Two-possession game.
He had 0 points in the first half, John, and ended the game with 13. Like, he was huge. But and what I love is just seeing guys' competitive nature, seeing them respond, and seeing the shot making. Like Chris said, they had to find some offense with no C.J. Frederick. And this time of year, man, you just love to see. And I thought Mississippi State did the same. I mean, what's the kid's name? Cheville Moore. I mean,
Shaquille Moore. Yeah.
Man, he was like, wow. Having not seen him a ton. I mean, that dude is a competitor. And so it was just a competitive game. And there's a luxury. I don't know, Chris, if you've had – they inbounded the ball to Oscar Tshiebwe for the game-winning free throws down the stretch. The inbounds play was to just throw it up to him, let him catch it and get fouled. And he went down there and made 3 out of 4 to win the game.
Well, the thing
how many guys are inbounding it to their big guy to win the game to the foul line late?
Not many. The thing about Oscar, though, is he's going to come down with the ball. Like, there's no V cut. There's no set a screen, roll back. It's like, all right, just throw it up, and he's going to, take it up the space that he needs to catch the ball. But, man, I don't know if I'd be throwing it to my center, to be honest with you.
That was the play.
Hey, they had another one inbound when they had 2 seconds on the shot clock where, he's coming off a stagger screen shooting a 3. I wasn't so sure about that one either, But
I agree, Chris. They're playing better. They got opportunities. Like, I think they'll find a way to win, enough to get him in. Get CJ Frederick back. And I think that's, like I said, Livingston was huge. That's big for his confidence to be able to deliver again in another game here coming up. And so I like where they're at right now, and just in terms of how they're approaching things and how you see them respond.
Look, they get a road win against a Mississippi State team that, although they've struggled in SEC play, they had a really nice non-conference season. And so the win has value. It's a quad one win. I agree with both of you. I think Kentucky's going to hear their name called, whether that's on a quick trip to Dayton, Ohio for the first four, or whether that's for a first round game, we'll see. They've got 5 games left here in the regular season. They're home to Tennessee on Saturday. There are games sometimes where if you win, you're in. The ticket just has that kind of value. If they somehow complete a season sweep of Tennessee, the committee's not leaving out the Kentucky Wildcats. But they've got Florida on the road, Auburn at home, Vanderbilt at home, Arkansas on the road. Not saying it's easy by any stretch of the imagination. But if they get 2 of those final 4, they're going to end up hearing their name called on Selection Sunday. As long as you avoid the 4 straight losses here, or 4 out of 5, or then we're looking at the SEC tournament. The fact is they're going to get in. Here's the thing about this team. I will second what you both said. Without CJ Frederick, and if you told me at 6:30 tonight, Haston Wallace is going to go 1 for 13 from the floor and 0 for 8 from 3, I would have said, like the Magic Johnson head shaking. Nope, not going to happen. But Livingston stepped up. And guys, when Jacob Toppin contributes, it seems like it swings them in an upward trajectory. Yes or no?
Yeah, I think he's a big confidence piece to their team. Made it that 3 right before the half, although Mississippi State matched it. But I think that, he's a big part of that team playing with confidence when he does.
So the Cats go to 17-9. Briefly around the SEC. Otherwise, Texas A&M beats Arkansas 62-56. For Texas A&M, that's a huge win. They are very much on the bubble. They did not schedule well in their non-conference, but they are 19-7, and they're in second place in the SEC. Tonight, Wade Taylor IV goes for 18 points, 4 assists. A&M gets it done for win number 19. Florida beats Ole Miss 79-64. And as we said, Tennessee, yes, folks, tonight in college basketball, number 1 fell. Alabama was 12-0 in the SEC. They fall to Tennessee 68-59. Certainly no shame in that. In Knoxville, the Volunteers so tough, and they guard so well.